Hey everyone, welcome back to Upgrades Complete. Today we are going to be talking about the first question. What 3D printer is best for me to start off with? Well, it's a loaded question, but I'm going to try and make it simple in under 5 minutes, tell you what you need to know and what mistakes to avoid. This is what got me started, believe it or not. MakerBot Replicator Mini. I bought this printer a few years back, new old stock, with a case of filament for pennies on the dollar. Take note of the small build surface, and I am going to scroll my way up, and that's a life-size Boba Fett helmet. Can't print that on that bed, but I have run thousands and thousands and thousands of small pieces on this, and I've had a blast. And it got me into a hobby that will be with me for the rest of my life. But this is not where you're going to live, because it doesn't teach you a lot. It's plug and play. You download the software, you print. It does everything for you. What I want to talk about is your first printer. And this should be it. The Creality Ender 3. This is the V2. Highly recommend it because of the upgraded build surface, the upgraded motherboard. It's a great printer all in all. The build plate, as you will note, is upside down. I did flip the build plate because I like the glass surface being smooth. And this gives me 100% adhesion. I've talked about that in another video, as well as the upgrades. But this printer can be had as cheaply as $150, and you're going to learn so much on this machine about print profiles, G-code, and if you think the G-code is the combination to a chastity belt, then you really need to start with a printer like this. And you'll get your answers. Now, I do want to dispel a myth and that 3D printing is easy money. It's like printing money. It's not. A lot of you are going to be asking, I want to print a Mandalorian helmet. I want to print 100 of them, and I'm going to sell them on Etsy and eBay and blah, 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 blah. Do your research. People have tried. It doesn't happen. That helmet, even printing it in just a few pieces on this bed, assembling it, primering it, filling it, painting it, all those steps, and you are talking well over a 40-hour work week, and at $15 an hour minimum wage, that's $600. That helmet equals about $1,000, and you can buy that for $100. So you're not going to make any money off of it. Plus, 9 times out of 10, you would be using somebody else's file and selling that, and that's just not cool. It's something we don't do in the community. We credit everybody. Back to topic of your first 3D printer and why I think this should be it. Like, you can get the 10S Max, which is 4 times the build volume. You could print that Boba Fett helmet in one shot, one print, and it's phenomenal. It's over, well, let's say around $1,000 US, and it's a great printer. Takes up a good amount of room, but is it worth it for you? Even if you say yes and you have that kind of budget, I still recommend you buy one of these. I still recommend you have one of these because you're going to have smaller parts that you're going to want to print off. Say you want to do the helmet in one piece, but the ears separately. You could run this printer, print your ears out, assemble it with the helmet, and not lose anything. Save time, save filament, save headache. Start here. And this will teach you about the programs that you need to know, which Personally, I use Cura. Cura has been really good to me. And if you've watched my last video on how to set up the Ender 3, the people at How To have made the settings so simple to do. I have been printing currently the 1836 Colt Paterson from Supernatural. I can actually print the barrel in one piece on this printer. I chose not to, just so I could show how to print with the skirt and the supports, and talk about build adhesion like we did in the last video. This, in fact, was printed without anything underneath. This just adhered itself phenomenally. We're going to be talking about this in another video, but quickly, something I want to mention. Parts that either failed or you decided, like this was an SD card slot holder, I changed to a different model. Supports for the barrel of the Colt, for the receiver. Take this stuff, save it, get it recycled. There's a lot of companies out there that'll do it, and it's better than throwing it in the trash. I hope I've given you an idea on where to go with your first 3D printer. There are clones available of the Ender 3 V2, and you can check out the latest one from Frank over at Frankly Built. Make sure to like and subscribe his channel, especially if you're into cosplay, because the man is a wealth of knowledge and is an open book to share it with you. But he just reviewed a 1-to-1 clone of the Ender 3 V2. In fact, I might even call it the V2.5 because the screen is actually nicer than this one. But like I said, hope this helped you out a little bit. If you have questions, comments, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and let's get your questions answered for you. Thanks again.